I'm Luke, I work for the Phoenix to Touch Youth Project and recently I became the CEO. The Phoenix to Touch Youth Project works with young people, school year 7 up until the age of 25. We do that in a range of different ways, including detached work, where we go out on the streets and meet young people, group work, where young people can come in and do activities, in one-to-one and crisis work. So in the past year, we've done a few different things. First of all, we're part of the Mental Health Alliance with VODA, which is really useful because it allows us to meet other agencies and kind of keep up to date with what's going on in the mental health sphere, as well as access to countless training which we wouldn't get otherwise. Alongside that, VODA also do stuff like our payroll and give us advice on things like policies and procedures.
Morning, I'm Valerie. I'm a student. I did my work experience with VODA. It was absolutely amazing. It was fun because you work with loads of people, talk with loads of people, and have basically lots of fun. And there's puzzles. I love puzzles. So before I joined VODA, I was really bored during my 6 weeks holiday, and I basically had nothing to do. So as soon as I joined VODA, my Wednesdays and Thursdays were occupied, and that was a massive plus for me because I was just sitting at home doing nothing. I've been able to improve and boost my confidence with speaking to people. Volunteering is a massive way to go because you get lots to put on your CV. You get lots of skills, lots of skill boosts. If you're talking about volunteering, VODA, obviously.
Hi, my name's Benon Kazeli. I'm Head of Adults and Public Health Commissioning at North Tyneside Council. So in terms of what I do, I help commission services for North Tyneside Council, both in public health and in adult social care commissioning. We have worked with VODA from a public health point of view around Best Start, where we're helping people within the borough around breastfeeding and peer support. And again, by working with VODA, we've been able to make some of those connections with organisations that we wouldn't have necessarily linked with or had those connections with naturally. VODA's a great source of knowledge for me in terms of what's going on the ground, so to speak, in terms of VCSE organisations. I know I can go to VODA, talk with them, and they can connect me in networks, which helps in terms of my role, especially from a commissioning point of view.
I'm Emma Patterson. I work on inclusive economic growth at the North East Combined Authority. So over the last year, I've been working with Kia and Julie, mostly on the volunteering and social action programme. This was phase 2 of a UKSPF funded programme where we invested about £400,000 into creating meaningful volunteering opportunities and impactful social action projects. It's fair to say that the Volunteering and Social Action project has been the best project that I've worked on in the last year. We were particularly pleased with the evaluation at the end of the last financial year, and it just showed what a real difference volunteering makes to people's lives, and that has really helped us as an organisation to make the case for investing in volunteering. And although it wasn't a defined outcome of the project, we did see people moving into employment as well, which is part of our remit as a combined authority. So yeah, it's been a really lovely piece of work to be involved in. I've appreciated the honest feedback that they've given over the year into how we can be a better commissioner and funder in the voluntary sector. And that's really helped us to make a case for changing the way that we fund and commission programmes with smaller organisations. So that's been a particular highlight for me.
I'm Anya Lawrence. I'm the VCSE Liaison Manager at North Tyneside Council. VODA and North Tyneside Council have had a long-standing relationship. Over the past years in my role, I've worked really closely with the Chief Exec, Vicky Smith, and the Deputy CEO, Keith Hardy. So we host events such as the VCSE Leadership Forum. We collaborate on funding bids such as the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, and we also support the sector hand in hand around things like governance and constitution. I think VODA's having a substantial impact on the sector not only through its relationship with the council, in terms of it sits on many of our boards, it represents the VCS within the cabinet, but it also is out there on the ground meeting the sector and supporting them from grassroots levels up.
So I'm Simon Ripley, I'm the Chief Officer here at Linscope Trust in North Shields. So VODA provide free training to the Trust. The latest training we've had is trustee training. So Keith Hardy, the Deputy Chief Officer, came out and did some bespoke training for that and looking at best practice in terms of how we can improve our governance. And then we had 2 or 3 trustees join throughout the year and they went for the update training. So the training gives confidence to the new trustees, learn their roles and responsibilities within the organisation, and ultimately has led us to become a best practice organisation.
I'm the Chief Officer at the Meadows, which is a large community centre, community hub and community garden. Primarily I'm involved in the Mental Health Alliance, which is probably my most active role in sort of working together, and that's just been invaluable. We've done lots of partnership works developed through that, and lots of and some funded projects as well through the peer support funding that was available. So we've got a couple of partnership projects that are going. And the Mental Health Alliance meetings are really invaluable, and now the cross-sector providers meeting through them. But aside from that, with VODA, I'm part of the Poverty Intervention Strategy Group, the quite newly developed Voluntary Sector Leaders Group across North Tyneside. I've worked with Debbie on some funding advice and support that she's given, and I even roped Vicky into doing some interviews with me last month, so yeah, there's all sorts of stuff.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Gavin, the Director of Helix Arts. Helix Arts are an arts charity. We're based in North Tyneside, but we work across the region, and about 50% of our work is about working with artists, communities, and understanding people's stories, giving them a chance to express themselves, and also help and improve health and well-being. Helix has worked with VODA for a long time. We have both a strategic relationship and a delivery relationship. So strategically, VODA have supported Helix to build capacity within the sector through a number of programmes and initiatives, but we also have been a beneficiary of grants through things like UK SBF, the Shared Prosperity Fund. Helix have worked with VODA strategically through developing networks and alliances. A few to name would be how VODA have supported the North Tyneside Cultural Partnership, and also stakeholder groups and initiatives like the North Shields 800 group, developing the projects around the anniversary for the 800th year.